Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. We got a pretty special one for you today as we are going to be going over the deck that I used in yesterday's Pokemon Go prizing tournament at Taps Games. And there's a 23 players, I think. And yeah, it was a good event. Definitely not the most that we've had, but you know, there's a lot of good quality players that showed up, and a lot of interesting decks. And you know, there was a lot of Palkia, there's a lot of Arceus, Inteleon. There was a bunch of Mew. There was I think a single strike, right? Some Ice Rider, and you know, really cool one, which was the Lunatone Zoroark from Pokemon Go, right, which actually ended up winning the event, which is absolutely crazy. And yeah, just overall, I thought it was you know, a really good and pretty well run event. And yeah, we're gonna get into the deck profile here. So I ended up playing Rapid Strike Urshifu with Zoroarc Toolbox and a little lightning package. And yeah, so into the deck we got a 2-2 Rapid Strike Urshifu line. So it's really good because it's versus Arceus, right? Yeah, they're on their Urshifu V, right? The 100 Furious Blows, which is really easy to power up with a Flaffy Dynamotor and a Rapid Strike Energy, right? You're able to get that 300 damage out of nowhere, right? 150 times 2 due to weakness, which is a knockout on an Arceus V-Star, right? Which is awesome, but it's mainly there to go into the VMAX, which Gale Thrust there, it does 30, and then if it moves from the bench to the active, that turn, it does 120 more damage. So once again, that's 150 times 2, which is 300 against Arceus V-Star, which is an awesome amount as it one-hit KOs it, right? And then second attack there, G-Max, Rapid Blow, or Flow, pardon me. G-Max Rapid Flow. You discard all energy, and it does 120 to 2 different things on your opponent's side, right? And then you don't apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon, right? So that's really good at knocking out things like Drizzles, Meloettas, right? Active Arceus Vs, right? It allows you to pretty much get a 2 and possibly up to, you know, really depending on how damaged things are, right? Really, you can have a 6 prize turn with that, right? But just a really awesome card, and it's a monster with 330 HP as well. So yeah, that's the Urshifu. So then we go into the Zoroark package. We got a 4 Zoroark line. Zorua there. I like it's 70 HP, right? That's probably my best, the best thing about it. Rear kick is okay, you know. 2 colorless, which is really nice for 30. And it's also a great typing to have as it's dark, right? So you're able to take advantage of things like Mew and Meloetta, right? But it's mainly there to evolve the Zoroark. So Zoroark, it's got this ability, Phantom Transformation, right? So it says once during your turn, you may choose a Stage 1 Pokemon, except Zoroark, from your discard pile, and if you do, discard this Pokemon and all cards attach it, and put the chosen Pokemon in its place. So it's really good because the different Stage 1s that we play, and it's pretty much a toolbox card. You know, just get what you need at that time, right? And by doing that, it makes some for some really neat and explosive plays that you can do. which is cool. So that's the Zoroark line. So we'll do the little lightning package. We got a 1/1 Fluffy line, 2 Raikou V, and a Zeraora. So this is the Palkia package here. Mareep is there to evolve into Fluffy, obviously. It's also like got a pretty cool attack, you know, a single lightning energy for 20, which is like 40 against like a Sobble or like a Suicune or a Palkia, right? Etc. There is a 70 HP one, which I might put in, or so that one's from Chilling Rain. Or I might just take it out completely and just have the Fluffy line as a stage 1 for Zoroark. So then we got 2 Raikou V, so another really awesome attacker. Pardon me, I guess I forgot Fluffy. So Fluffy there is for the Dynamotor ability, like the Electric from Noble Victories. Attach a lightning energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon, right? Which is cool. And then Raikou there, it's got 2 things for it, going for it, right? Actually, 3 things. The first thing is it's lightning type, so a really good counter versus Palkia. The second thing, its ability Fleet-footed allows it to draw a card. And then the third thing is its attack there. It's a really cheap attack, and it's actually really good too. Lightning Rondo does 20, and then 20 more for each bench Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's. So you're capable of doing, if you have 5 on each side, right, that's 200 plus 20, so that's 220, right, which actually KOs a lot of things, right? And then Zeraora there, right, so once again, it's lightning type, which is good. It's actually a free retreater, which is the only free retreater that we have in the deck, which is awesome. And then it's fighting lightning there, does 30. And then if it's a Pokemon V or GX, it does 80 more damage. So that's 110, which actually knocks out a Palkia V. Right? And then if you attach a Choice Belt to it, it does 140. On both those attacks, right? The 110 times 2 is 220. Palkia V knockout. And then the 110 plus the 30 with Choice Belt is 140 times 2, which is 280, which knocks out a Palkia V-Star. So, super, super cool. And that is it for the little lightning package that we have. Then on to the singles. We got a Lumineon V, a Bibarel, a Mightyena, a Octillery, Rapid Strike Octillery, and then lastly a Slowbro. So this is the stage 1 package, except for the Lumineon. Lumineon there's with its ability Luminous Sign is to pretty much search out a supporter, right? Search out whatever you need. Bibarel there is really cool because it allows you to draw cards, right? And being as that you do discard your hand, you know, quite a bit, right? Through things like Research or Quick Ball or Ultra Ball, right? Your hand size is going to be pretty low and it's going to get there quickly. Bibarel there is a nice refresher. Mightyena there is good for the Mew matchup, right? As it prevents your opponent from using Mew VMAX, right? Or, you know, I guess it doesn't prevent him, but it forces them to find another alternative, like using Meloetta against this deck, right? And then Octillery there is to search out for any Rapid Strike card. So Tower of Waters, Rapid Strike Energy, or Urshifu V or VMAX, right? And then the Slowbro there, it's there for its Twilight Inspiration, which I didn't get to use. You can only use this attack if your opponent has 1 prize card remaining. Take 2 prize cards. So it's a great way to steal the game. Should they have 1 left and you have 2, right? And I didn't end up using that at all. And that is the Pokemon line. So next on to the supporters and stadiums. So for the supporters, we have 4 Professor's Research, 2 Boss's Orders, a Grant, and then lastly for the stadiums, 2 Tower of Waters. So Research is the best draw card in the format, right? Discard and draw 7. Boss's Orders bring up what you want to knock out for the turn, right? And then Grant. So Grant serves two purposes, pardon me. One, it increases the damage from Rapid Strike Urshifu. And then 2, it's a great way to discard cards from the hand. And I never really ended up using Grant a whole lot, even when it was in the discard pile. Right, as I felt like all the cards in my hand were pretty crucial. Right, and then there was just other cards that I wanted to play that I didn't want to discard for Grant, right? That would bring itself to my hand, right? So if I were to cut a card, I'd probably cut that, and I may want to put in like a Karina's Focus, right? Because it's searchable with Octillery, or maybe another Boss's Orders, etc. And then Tower of Waters there is really cool because it gives your Rapid Strike Pokemon 2 less retreat. So, if you have an Octillery in your discard pile and a Zorua in play, it's just really easy. You just get Zoroark, right? You Zoroark into Octillery, you Octillery, Tower of Waters, and then you can retreat to whatever you need to, right? It just makes for some really explosive plays, and 2 of them is really needed. So, and that is it for the supporters and the stadiums, right? So then we have the trainer cards, right? And the trainer cards here are actually really amazing, as there is so much search in this deck, right? We play 4 Evolution Incense, 4 Quick Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, right? 2 Air Balloon, 2 Level Ball, a Canceling Cologne, a Choice Belt, a Hisuian Heavy Ball, and a Switch. So Evolution Incense searches out for an evolution card. There's so many, so that's why we play 4. Quick Ball is a really good basic searcher, and it actually, in combination with Evolution Incense, it's pretty much like absolutely no drawback, right, in getting out that the Pokemon that you need in play, right? And it gets out, like I said, it gets the evolution into the discard pile as well, right? Ultra Ball, same thing, but it just does a little bit more, right? You can get 2 cards faster, right? So it's not uncommon to have an extra evolution card in your hand, or let's say 2 Evolution Incense, right? You just discard, like you search with the Evolution Incense first, the Ultra Ball away, the 2 of them, right? And then oftentimes I'd grab the Lumineon V and then get a Professor's Research and then research in that same turn, right? Like super, super consistent. Air Balloon there gives 2 less retreat, right? So when you don't have Zoroark in play, Air Balloon's really good. You got to be careful with Air Balloon, though, as you don't want to be playing it onto a Zorua or Zoroark, because when you use its ability, it is going to get discarded, right? And you don't want that to happen, right? So its preference would be on like something like a Flaffy or a Lumineon V, or I don't know, like a Mightyena, right? Something that's already kind of if you Zoroark, right? The Pokemon that you bring into play, right, would be the one that you would want to attach it to, or the ones that I mentioned prior. Level Ball searches for your Zorua your Mareep, and your Fluffy. Canceling Cologne was a really good tech in here, right? The games that I did have it in my hands, I had to discard it just to move the game state forward. But it's really good because it shuts off things like Dunsparce, which negates Arceus's weakness, a normal Pokemon's weakness, and Manaphy as well. It prevents you from targeting their bench. So, yeah, if you just play that, then you can target, whatever you want, right? Choice Belt there for the extra 30 damage onto V. Pokemon, Hisuian Heavy Ball, so because this deck plays a lot of singles, right, it's really good to have. In one of my games, my second Urshifu was prized, and they knocked out, like they boss's orders knocked out the one that I had on my bench, and I was never able to draw into the Hisuian Heavy Ball, so that might be a card that I would want to increase, right, but just need to play a little bit more. And then lastly, switch as well, just to switch your Pokemon in play. And that is it for the trainers, supporters, and stadiums, right? So the last part that we have is the energies. And the energies are really easy. In fact, and I think it was actually all 4 of my games, I didn't have a turn 1 energy attachment, right? Oh, pardon me. So we have 5 lightning energies and then 4 rapid strike energies. So the lightning energies are obviously there for the lightning package, right? As we everything else, in the deck, requires maybe 1 energy, 1 lightning energy, and then 2 of something else, or it attacks for free, right? So the energy right now I think is perfect. The only thing that I would consider maybe is, depending if there's a lot of Dalga that's being played, would maybe to put an Entei V in the list, right? And then maybe change some of the energy to fire, or possibly to aura energy, right? Aura energies could be pretty good because it helps with the discarding again. So I don't know, right? But yeah, that's the deck. So the matches, my first match was against Mew, and I ended up mulliganing 3 times against Mew, and by that time it was a little bit too late. I ended up knocking out a Mew VMAX and a Meloetta, but I think it was a Meloetta and a Mew VMAX. It might have just been the Meloetta, but the one thing that caught me off guard was the Oricorio, right? They managed to get that in play, right? And with Mightyena, that 160, you times it by 2, which is 320, but then the Oricorio happens, which makes it down to 300, and 300 is not enough damage to knock out a Mew VMAX, right? You needed 10 more damage, and I knew about that in the at the start of the tournament, right? But yeah, that was pretty unfortunate. The second game was against Dalga V-Star with Magnezone, so not the typical Celebrations Mew Greninja style Dalga V-Star list, right? I actually really like this list, the Dalga V-Star with Magnezone, and this is actually a pretty tough game again. I ended up going first again. So I played, I played first, and actually all 4 of my games right? I got a bye in the 5th round, but I ended up playing first. And I had to make a few plays just to get an attack off because, you know, I knew that I needed to put some pressure on them to knock something out, and they're slowly building up that Dalga. The list was super consistent, right? The Dalga Magnezone list is super consistent, and they ended up, well, once they retreated, like the active damaged Dalga, because I used 100 Furious Blows on it, once they retreated into the other one, it was literally just game over. It's like I just couldn't get another Pokemon to play, like another attacker, right? I didn't have Flaffy into play, right? I couldn't attack at all, right? And that's where the game kind of went down. So I lost that one. Game 3 was against Arceus, and I think it was Inteleon, just Arceus Inteleon. And the deck was pretty explosive, right? I ended up, you know, getting an Octillery into play, right? And with the Zoroark into Tower of Waters, right? And I had a Urshifu on the bench, and I had it with a Lightning Energy in the next turn. You know, I was going to evolve into the VMAX and knock out the active Arceus. But on their turn, they boss's orders on the Urshifu. They knocked that out, and my other one was prized, so that was not really too great. And from there, I just couldn't really do anything at all. But you know, it is what it is, right? You know, prizes, bad prizing happens sometimes, right? And then the 4th game was against Mew VMAX again, Mew Genesect, and we went back and forth pretty well. I knocked out one of their Mew VMAXs with Mightyena, and then they ended up bringing up a second one after I knocked out 2 of their Meloettas with Urshifu VMAX. So we were down to 1 prize card for him and 3 prizes for me. I brought up Zoroark. I Phantom Transformationed into Mightyena. I did that the turn probably on the original Mew knockout, right? So he had some damage on it, and I attacked with the Mightyena, forcing Mightyena to knock itself out and knocking out the Mew at the same time. So we ended up both drawing 6 prizes, which happens extremely rarely in the game. And you know, we went to sudden death, and he was struggling drawing the cards that he needed to get a KO, right? He's struggling to get that switch or air balloon. And so I promoted an Urshifu, and I'm like, I'm calling game this turn. You know, like this will be your last turn, or I'm gonna win. And surely enough, that he had a Meloetta with 2 Fusion Strike Energy on it, and then there was a double turbo in the hand to retreat the Genesect. So he just did that, and then knocked out the Urshifu for the sudden death win. So that's kind of how the games went. Yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with the list. You know, I'm pretty happy with the way that it went. Zoroark, it was so key in a lot of matchups. Raikou put in some work as well. I didn't play a single Palkia, which is really cool. But yeah, pretty interesting list. If I were to change anything, right, I would, like I said, probably take out the Grant. I would maybe take out the Slowbro, as that really didn't do anything. I'd possibly take out Mareep. I'm not really too sure, right? Having a 1/1 line is pretty good, rather than just relying on Phantom Transformation with Zoroark, right? I'd maybe possibly add an NTV in and some fires or some Aurora energy, right? I may add in, let's say, a stage 1 rapid strike fighting type, just so I can deal with Arceus a little bit better. Or, I don't know, right? I'm not really too sure. Maybe a third Urshifu V, right? I don't know. It just depends what I want to do. I need to play it a little bit more and go from there. So, all right. So yeah, give the deck a try. Let me know what you think. Any feedback's appreciated. I do think there's a lot going for this deck, right? We just need to make it a little bit more consistent. Oh, I guess another thing too would be to maybe add a second switch, right? And have a little bit more switching cards, right? That could help. I felt in actually a lot of my games where I just needed one card to make the winning play, and I couldn't get it. So, yeah, that may be a thought too. But yeah, if you like what you see, give it a try, and if you like what you're hearing and viewing, then perhaps give the channel a like. Pardon me, give the video a like and the channel a subscription. I'm trying to grow it and hopefully add value to everybody. So, all right, but yeah, that's the deck, and thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.